Photoshop is obviously the GOAT of all digital design, but it can be a little bit pricey. However, there are a bunch of softwares that claim to be just as good as Photoshop. In this video, I'm going to be trying out every single one of them. But at the end of every single design I make, I have to rate it based on 3 things. How easy it was to use, if I would actually use it instead of Photoshop, and how good the software was. Based on these scores, we're going to average out a rating out of 10 for each design software. So obviously we're going to start with Photoshop because, you know, that's where we're basing everything off of, and that's the one I'm most familiar with. So we're going to do a car poster. It's going to be of this Lamborghini. I'm going to do the same thing for every single website or knockoff that I use. I'm going to start off with just a yellow color, obviously, just to match this color of the Lambo. Now we're going to scale this Lambo down a little bit because right now it's a little too big. Now I am going to grab a nice exposure layer and I'm going to go like this. Just going to paint in some light coming in from the right so we can add a little bit extra to this whole poster. Now I'm going to take an exposure layer on the Lambo. I'm going to make sure those places that that light does not reach is not bright. So down here needs to be a little darker. Same with over here. Actually, I don't really like the texture. I kind of just like it like this. I'm not going to lie. Now I need to make a shadow coming off the left side over here. Start with a hard brush. Now I'm going to grab a soft round brush. I am just going to delete these edges to make it not look so crisp. That actually looks pretty dang good. Now I'm going to take a little bit of light. I'm going to just paint that in right over the headlight. Make it look real shiny. Now we're going to grab this Lamborghini logo. A little too big how it is right now. We're going to put it in right behind the car, just like this. I kind of want this to look like it also is being kind of lit up by this light source over here. So I'm going to add some highlights on it. That looks really good. After that, I did a couple more adjustments, like adding the Lamborghini text as well as a grunge overlay, and then a camera raw filter to add the final finishing touches to our Photoshop piece. I mean, honestly, what else did you expect from Photoshop? It's the big bad wolf. He's the main man. For the rating, I give Photoshop a 10 out of 10. Easy to use, great software, and yeah, that's going to be pretty hard to beat. Canva. This is a software that is hated by a lot of the graphic design community. So let's see how it does. I'm actually pretty used to Canva. I've done quite a bit of stuff in here. It's not my favorite thing ever. Again, I don't really like template stuff. Obviously, we're gonna start off. Let's put in this Lamborghini. Let's go ahead and put in this thing. I don't really know how layers work on this. How do I get to layers? All right. Now let's put this logo right around here. Looking good. Obviously, we need to make this background yellow. And to do that, hopefully I'll be able to, yep, I can just pick the color straight from the Lamborghini like before. There you go. Now let's put the Lamborghini text in place. Make it a little bit smaller, just like this. I mean, Canva's a lot easier to work around. So let's go to elements and let's just search up light. What we got? Ooh, these are better. If I'm able to use anything, everything's pro. Honestly, I can use this red one, just like this. I can change that color to that white. There we go. And I know for sure that on this, I can add a drop shadow. Why does it look like that? Ew. What about page lift? Okay, I'm fine with that. Page lift is okay. Let's make the intensity a little less, a little much right now. I'm pretty dang happy with that. Okay. Shadow doesn't really match the lighting, but it almost does. It's an A for effort for sure. Now let's also see if we can add those bright headlight twinkles, which I'm sure they've got to have something for that. There we go. Easy. Oh, that actually looks really good. Now let's go in. Let's add this grunge layer. See if we can do anything with it. Edit the image. How do I do this? Wow, this is kind of hard to find everything too. Okay, I can just turn down the opacity on it quite a bit, but it's gonna make it look darker. It's got a cool kind of vibe to it. It's not too bright, but it's not too dark. Honestly think that might be it for Canva. Honestly, this Canva experience wasn't too bad. It's not as great as the Photoshop one, but I really wasn't expecting it to be. If I had to give it a rating, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I'd use it for certain circumstances, but not really what I use Photoshop for. It's a good software, and it's pretty user-friendly. Photopea. This app is the go-to knockoff Photoshop. Apparently, it's actually pretty good, so let's test that out. Let's do this. I'm creating a new project, width 8, height 11. We're gonna make the background a nice yellow, looking like that. And let's create. Hey, yeah, this does look a lot like Photoshop. This looks a lot like Photoshop, but with more ads. This should be pretty dang easy to get around. All right, so let's put in the Lambo. Let's grab the Lamborghini logo again. And that logo needs to go about right there. That's good for the logo. Let's put the text in. Now, do they have brushes? They do, they have brushes. Can I make a solid color? Color fill. Let's make it above everything. How do I paint? Oh, ooh, whoa. Turn the flow down. Wow, I am thoroughly impressed by this. Let's make the Lamborghini darker, just how we did in that. how do I make this go away? Draw on some shadows just like we did on the original Photoshop one. Draw some shadows in. I am so impressed by this. Like, this is a Photoshop knockoff and it's working just as good as the original Photoshop. It's incredible. See if we can add that bright light like we did in Photoshop. Bro, whoever made Photo-Pete, take a bow. If you don't have money to buy Photoshop, this is an incredible introduction. Let's add this grunge layer to it. Move to the side, make it bigger. Put this on overlay, and the opacity down. I can put a camera raw filter on it. There's no way. Camera raw. Let's see how good this camera raw is. Okay, it definitely doesn't have nearly as much, but that's okay. It's not as rough as the one I did in Photoshop, but it still looks good. Like, it just, wow, I'm very impressed. Good job, Photo-Pete. Honestly, what can I say? This is one of the best knockoffs that I've used. I would definitely recommend this to anyone trying to get into Photoshop. For a rating, I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10. For easiness to use, it's pretty easy if you're used to Photoshop. If you haven't used Photoshop before, then it's probably a little bit more difficult. I think it's a really good software, and yeah, I would definitely use it. Pixler. This one was definitely marketed to me in a different way than what it actually was. So yeah, enjoy whatever this is. All right, this next one is called Pixler. It says AI image generator here. Like, I thought it was like a photo editor, but I don't know. I guess we'll see what we can do here. So let's bring in this as AI. Okay, we're gonna be using AI to create this poster. So what do I want to see? I want to see a yellow Lamborghini on a yellow background with light coming from the right. The Lamborghini logo behind the car. Style, let's go with cinematic. Color, we want a warm tone. Lighting, let's go rim lighting. And for composition, let's go with the blurry background. This is actually made pretty dang well. Let's see what it makes. This might not have been the best description. Woo! Dang, this looks sick. I did not expect it to be this good. Holy moly, this looks real. So this is definitely my favorite right here. This looks most like the poster. Let's remix it, see what I can do here. Make sure to have the Lamborghini logo generate. Okay, honestly, I don't think it's gonna do what I wanted it to do. Pixler, you impressed me. I mean, obviously it's not really a Photoshop knockoff, but you know, it still looks pretty cool. For rating, I definitely give it probably a 6 out of 10 just because it's not really what we're trying to do here. It's really easy to use, and yeah, it's a pretty good software. I might use this for like making my own stock photos or something, I don't really know. Adobe Express. I think this one's a lot like Canva, so hopefully this should be pretty good. It's from Adobe, the same thing as Photoshop, so I think this should be kind of easy to understand. Okay, so this kind of reminds me of Canva. I think this is template based. Here's the Lamborghini, a little lower than half. Get the Lamborghini logo in place behind the car. Now let's get the Lamborghini text, put it right down here. All right, first things first, let's make this background yellow. Background color. Okay, I can use the eyedropper tool and do the same thing before. Cool. And I mean, this already looks not as good for sure. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of this template styles stuff. Let's go to elements. Let's see if we can find like a light that we can put in. Light. I mean, this will work. If I scale it up really big, do this. We got something here, something. Let's get another one actually, and we'll place it right on the headlights right here. Definitely does not look nearly as good. Let's add this grunge layer, see if we can do anything with that. Let's make it bigger, rotate it. Now let's use the blend layer, screen. Okay, we can do a screen. Okay, that's not that bad. I don't like it like right here. That doesn't look good at all. I don't know how I could fix that. Maybe if I do something with this. The opacity way down, and yeah, I started yapping for a bit, but I tried to make a shadow. It did not work. Oh, this is so bad. This is definitely the worst one I made, so sorry for that. Rating for Adobe Express, I'm gonna give it a 4. It was so much worse than Canva, even though it was literally like the exact same thing. It was actually kind of difficult to use. I mean, I guess it's an okay software, but I probably would never use this. Sumo Paint. I was definitely the most excited to do this one just because of their logo. I love the icon, wow. I don't know how to do this, so this just looks like Photoshop on a huge budget. Make the Lambo, make the badge a little smaller. It doesn't snap into position. Okay, that looks like the middle. I don't like how you have to open the layers every time. Like, it doesn't just stay open when I'm doing stuff. Okay, and how do I change this background? Okay, let's use the color wheel. What? Yeah, this is not impressive. I'm not a fan of this app. All right, this looks good. I do not mind this. Okay, let's use a brush. Let's use a spray can. Get like a white. There's a little bit of yellow. Oh, this is rough. This is rough. This is rough. Maybe if I make it like a sun, like you used to do those drawings when you were a kid, you know? There we go. Let's grab a black color. Okay. Okay, this is working. I don't know how much better this is gonna get. I'm not gonna lie. I guess I can draw some highlights on. I'll say this is pretty laggy software. What is it doing? I'm not clicking anything. Hello? You know, it doesn't look that bad, but you know, it's something. Okay, let's see if I can add this grunt texture. See if it actually does anything. Goodness, it's so laggy. Let's bring it down to around that. That looks good. Nice. That's it for Sumo Paint, I guess. I am sad to say that this was by far my least favorite one. Very disappointed. Do better, Sumo Paint. For a rating, I'm giving this a 2 out of 10. This was so difficult to use, mostly because the software was just terrible. It was super laggy, and yeah, I'm never gonna use this. Thank y'all for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you'd want to go watch another one. So click here. YouTube recommends you this one. They think you'll like it.